specially designed for this event, and people can bid on them and own a piece of history. You can own the set that was played in E4, Bobby
and it's
Wesley.
Handshake. So history is going to be written here as well. Who will win the 23 Grand Chess Tour? A big day for the players here. Fabi leading the tour standing, but as you mentioned, Ali Reza. Both these players have got 2 events remaining, lots of points to be won, everything to play for, and it is the Royal Lapaz.
Peter, no Archangel.
I think the second time already, and we are barely into the second.
Kingside Knight, plenty of times. The central pawn is hanging as we see the queen jumped onto a4. Yasser hitting that knight on a5. Falls back. I would be afraid to pick up that pawn on e4. And even though you're a pawn grabber, I don't think you'd approve of that one.
No, I think that actually even loses on the spot. Queen takes e4, obviously walks into rook e1. Knight takes e4, invites both queen d5, rook e1. And guess what? Knight c3 is coming with the tempo. Peter, I'm sorry, I'm out of my depth, or at least theoretically speaking. I don't recall seeing a Ruy Lopez with a black queen on a4 in any of my games.
This exists, and there are even some very high-profile games.
This is one of those title-level rivalries of the chess world.
Exactly.
We've seen it happen so many times, and we will see it happen so many times in the future as well. Wesley with the white pieces, an interesting opening, and not something that we see very often. So we are expecting unique ideas on the board. And we see Fabi there, he gets up and leaves. Fabi looks like he's the one who's better prepared. 25 minutes to boot and 19 minutes.
He's been playing his moves all, snapped them right out. He's being kind of clumsy.
And it has surprised us, Fabi having the opportunity to go in for his Archangels, which is his big boss right now.
Right.
And a really nicely done one. I'm gonna let out. I'm in the middle of that one. So it's very extensive, and it's interesting that Fabi has decided to not employ that in the opportunities that he's gotten. And I want to ask you, do you think there's additional pressure that comes on the players when you vouch for an opening so much and for all its strength? But then when it comes to playing after you're out with a course that you need to prove a point every time it's on the board?
Yeah, I feel that kind of pressure. At least I did when I was, in favor of an opening, and I knew my opponents were going to be very well prepared for it, but nonetheless I went into those variations and said, I'm going to challenge you. And with the moves Bishop e6, Bishop e7, and to Peter's point, with the knight no longer on a5, c6 was a perfectly happy retreat square for the queen, and I think Fabi's got a decent position.
I think he has to solve one final problem here,
g4 rocked his world. Queen g4 forces his king into a double attack. Queen f4 check. He's dropped his rook. And oh no, it's now a draw. Easy draw. Easy draw for...
and he can't believe it.
He can't believe... Wow, I haven't seen Fabi throw away such a winning position in a long time.
Yeah, and it's a sequence of very uncharacteristic mistakes by Fabi. I think Wesley found in the position that we last saw after...
Where he could have just played, as you said,
And just takes the pawn, yes.
Queen takes d5, check. Now all he needs to do is go king g7 and queen f7, and almost instantly...
He clearly decided on that when he took on d5. And,
Right.
And then I'm guessing he missed very specifically queen
G5
check.
check?
No, you can't miss g5 check. It's the only check in the position.
That is true.
You just can't miss that.
He missed the queen maneuver from g7 to g4 and
G4 and
eventually to
F4.
f4.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Wesley, of course, the beast that he is in these positions. Yes, it reminds me of his game against Jan, where he had an extra exchange. Was it Jan where he played bishop e7 on day one?
Yes.
And then again, it felt like he did the opening,
Right.
gets a winning position, but then somewhere lets go of that very big advantage. And that's it. We've got handshakes, game over. Wesley so survives.
Yeah,
Wow.
and, Fabi looks very understandably dejected there because he
Right.
knows he left a
lot on the
full
table.
point, a full point on the table there.
Well, we're gonna say 2 points.
No, he did get a point out of it.
He did
so,
get a point. Yeah. Wow. Well, 5 draws. They were fighting draws, and
A very happy Wesley.
very happy Wesley. So they're